Mrs. Clinton that she would be the first female president of the United States of America, and that she would follow in the footsteps of her predecessor, President Barack Obama, and keep much of that which he brought into existence by executive order and continue it. But as the world knows, he couldn't bring everything into existence through Congress, because from the day that he was elected President of the United States Congress, many of the Republicans met, and they declared that they would never allow his legislative program to succeed, and for 8 years they fought him. So he had to do much of what he did through executive order. The Affordable Care Act was an act that came through Congress. The right of the homosexual community, same-sex marriage, came through Congress. But the rest of those things that President Obama initiated came through executive order. And now that Mr. Trump is the president-elect, and if he chooses, he can, by executive order, repeal most of what President Barack Obama brought into existence, including the thawing of the relationship between the United States and the people of Cuba. And because there is a Republican Senate, a Republican House of Representatives, a Republican president, it is more than likely that his legislative program will be accepted. His nominations to the Supreme Court may very well be accepted. So America is on a course now that will lead to the final conflagration.
I want you to watch this, because they're already planning to take your life. The police are no longer police, they're soldiers. They have their bulletproof vests, they have their riot gear, they have their tasers, they have their pepper spray, they have heavy weapons. We used to be able to speak in armories, no more, because the armories are filled with armored personnel carriers and tanks. You remember when Brother Khaled was here and we had the topographical center? He used to tell you about all the roads around the city. See? Yeah, defense highways are what they call, and how the tanks was going to roll. Well, they're ready now. They've been down in Fort Hood training on house-to-house combat. The black community are like the Palestinians. You got some AK-47s, but the Israelis got F-16s, helicopter gunships, armored personnel carriers, tanks, bulldozers. Then they got your neighborhood surrounded. Go ahead, rise up. You cut off the water, cut off the gas, cut off the electricity, won't let a food truck in. You rape the supermarket until there ain't nothing there. A few days you're hungry. Then he said, come out. Come out. The helicopter gunships flying over Watts. The helicopter gunship flying over East LA. Spraying you with 50 caliber machine guns. You like blood, huh? Let me tell you what the Bible says. See, God came to save us because he loved us. But we are so filled with hatred. And all you gangbangers that know how to say Assalamu alaikum and then kill your brother when that's supposed to mean peace. See, that means you know what you're doing. Remember I was telling you about that dude at the Source Awards? He was so filthy. I've never heard no filth like that in my life. And then he heard that Farrakhan was in the audience when he was cutting up like that. He came backstage and he said, "Oh, minister, I didn't know you was here. Please forgive me." He bowed down low. I picked him up. I said, "Brother, it's all right." I said, "But it showed you have a conscience. And I was your conscience because when you found out that I was present, you didn't want to do that. You knew you had violated me, but really you violated yourself. You violated your people. You got to do better than that, brother." I don't condemn us because I love us. But at this point, I'm kind of tired. I'm tired of seeing my mothers here burying their children. And I believe you tired of killing. But you know how you got started? See, you didn't live in the 60s, many of you young people. But we who came through the 60s, we knew that there was a counterintelligence program of the U.S. government that pitted us one against the other and watched us kill each other, and they fostered it and destroyed black organizations and black leadership. The same dirty tricks that the CIA used to destabilize governments around the world, they used them on black organizations. Now, when the Berlin Wall fell, they brought their CIA agents back from Eastern Europe and brought them to America to work among the gangs. Do you think they were working among you for peace? They were setting you up for the slaughter. In came crack, in came guns, in came territorial squabbles, in came colors, in came hand signals, in came East Coast, West Coast madness. Now you're set for the slaughter. And I'm telling you, brothers, mothers, if we don't stop this now, there'll be blood in the streets, as it is written, up to the horse's bridle. They are afraid of these young men. Brothers, do you know what it's like in America to grow up and you don't have no fear of dying? We ain't never had a generation like you. Negroes always been scared. See them scratching. Every time the white man come along, yeah, I said, ball. It's how you survive. You're a different breed. And you're such a different breed that you frighten them. And you see, if we can stop you from killing each other, then they say the next thing them niggas gonna do, and them Spanish people, they call us spicks and niggas, say they're gonna turn on us. Yes. So let's get them before they get us. This is real. I understand that a couple of police got shot. They'll shoot their own just to have an excuse to get at you. Just like they would shoot a Crip and blame it on the Bloods, then come over on the other side and shoot a Blood. And look, brothers, they got agents all among you. And sometimes the agent is the best Crip, the best Hoover, the best 18th Street. Because he the one that want to lead it always. And then when you want a peace, he says, I don't want no damn peace with them people. Then who paid you? Is it your job to keep the stuff going? You got to watch. I'm telling you, Muslims. You got agents among you, Minister Tony. I got them up around me too. Sometimes I don't know who the hell is who. I know if Jesus had 12 and one of them was a devil, and I ain't as smart as Jesus, I would be a fool to think that everybody that say Assalamu alaikum love me. So you got to watch the people. And everybody that is a Muslim, see, you got to watch and listen to people who claim to be that. Listen to their talk, because their talk will tell you who they are. But if you busy griping, you can't hear the talk. So as I leave you, brothers, sisters, we got to stop the killing.
O.J. Simpson was charged with murder. And in a court of law with a jury of his peers, he was set free. A lot of folk didn't like that, so they sued him. And he lost in court because even though he was not convicted of murder, they said he's responsible. White folk are rich and powerful, the rich and powerful, because black folk worked for 310 years as chattel slaves and got not one day's pay. I could call out the rich and the powerful whose riches have been gotten on our backs, but I'll save that for another time. The point is, the present generation of whites did not do this. But the present generation of whites are in their privileged position because of what a former generation of whites have done. Now the question is, a black agenda should be put before them, because if they don't accept the responsibility to clean up this problem, you don't have a lot of time to wait 40 more years for a benevolent white president or a benevolent black president. That day is over. America is facing the judgment of God as we sit around this table. Look at the weather. Look at the world turning down on her. America is bankrupt. $13 trillion in debt. And if you figure Medicare and Medicaid, she's over $60 trillion in debt. She can never pay it. That's why she voted for $650 billion in armament, because she can't pay the debt. But she can bully those whom she is in debt to with fear over her military prowess. I'm here to tell you she's losing there too. Now I close. Our people need repair. Yes. We need repair from 310 years of chattel slavery, where black men were forced to be studs, to make black women pregnant, to make more slaves for the slave master. And that same unhealthy attitude of misusing our women and making babies that we have no desire to take care of is still with us. Willie Lynch, who gave the ways that we could keep being divided so that they could rule us for 1,000 years. That sickness
is still with us. Yes, we got a black president, but brother said it was confusion. He confused the issue. But really, he never wants to lose the white vote. So if he loses the white vote, he don't care that you voted for him. But if he loses the white vote, he feels he will lose. Dear brother, if you're watching, out of love, you won't lose the white vote of those whites that really understand this problem and know that this problem needs to be solved, and we can't keep relegating it to generation after generation because a few of us got a little money, a few of us got positions, a few of us have wealth, while the masses of our people are going steadily down. No one man can rise above the condition of his people. Amen. So President Obama, this august body of brothers and sisters that really love you want you to use your bully pulpit, but then after you do that, then what about us? See, brother said responsibility. Is it that we should let them take responsibility to do for us, or should we pool the knowledge that's at the table, the power that's in our community, the wealth that's in our community to change the harsh reality of black life in America? He can create an atmosphere. That's what it is. But we have to do the job of fulfilling the black agenda. Thank you very much.